In this video, we are going to look at interpreting pie charts using the rule of step 1, calculating the value of 1 degree. So we can see here 360 degrees in total represents the 3,600 packets of sausages that were sold last month. Now to get from 360 degrees down to 1 degree, we need to divide that by 360 degrees, which means we also need to divide the 3,600 by 360 degrees. That means that 1 degree is therefore worth 10 sausages. Now we can use the angles that are given to us in the pie chart to work out how many sausages are in each section, or which each section represents. We can see that vegetarian is made up of 90 degrees, with each of those degrees being worth 10, therefore there are 900 sausages. The section marked other is worth 80 degrees. There are 10 degrees in each of these degrees, so there are 800 sausages altogether. Pork, 40 degrees. Each degree is worth 10, that means there are 400 sausages. And for beef, it is 150 degrees. Each of those worth 10 again, which means 1,500 sausages are made from beef. We can check our totals by making sure this also adds up to 3,600. Let's have a go in an example. My turn. The pie chart shows information about languages studied in a school. There are 648 students in the school. Each student studies one language. How many more students study Chinese than French? So this means we need to work out how many people are in this Chinese section and also how many people are in this French section. Now we can see that all are labelled apart from this French section. So we first of all need to work out the value of this here by having 360 and taking away the value of 115, add 125, add the 80, as 320 degrees makes up this section of German, Spanish and Chinese. So we need to make sure that we know that the French section is 360, take away 320 degrees, giving us 40 degrees left over. Now our first step on the last slide was to represent 360 degrees as being equal to the number of people in total, and in this case it is 648. So this 648 is this 648 here, and we would like to work out what 1 degree is worth. To go from 360 down to 1 degree, we must divide it by 360. To make it balance, we must also divide 648 by 360. That gives us a value for each degree as being 1.8. Don't worry that it's a decimal, it is absolutely fine. We are now going to use that decimal to work out how many people studied Chinese. So we say we have the Chinese people studying, or people studying Chinese. It is 115 degrees. Each degree is worth 1.8, which means we have 115 multiplied by 1.8 gives us 207. The people studying French, we have 40 degrees. Each of those degrees is worth 1.8, which means 40 multiplied by 1.8 gives you 72. Now the question asks us how many more students study Chinese than French. So So we have 207, take away 72, and that gives us an answer of 135. Press pause while you try the your turn question. The pie chart shows the holiday destinations of 60 people. How many more people went to France than Spain? Our first step is to work out how much 1 degree is worth. So we have 360 degrees is equal to the 60 people in the survey. Each time we do this, we want to work out what 1 degree is worth. To get from 360 down to 1 degree, we divide it by 360. That means we must also divide 60 by 360. When we type that into a calculator, we get an answer of 0.16 recurring people. Now, because we have a recurring fraction at decimal, we will leave that on our calculator when we do our calculations to make it easier for ourselves. You could also express it as a fraction, which is 1 out of 6. This may make it easier for you to calculate with. We now look to see how many people went to France. And the degrees that make up France is 138. We are multiplying this by 1 over 6. That gives us an answer of 23. The next step is looking at the people who went to Spain. Our angle for Spain is 72, which we multiply again by 1 over 6. This gives us 12 people in total who travelled to Spain. The final part of our question is asking how many more people went to France than Spain. So our calculation for that would be 23, take away the 12, gives us 11 people.